Hello, I'm drinking Weldwerks DDH Juicy Bits. Haven't had Weldwerks in quite a while. I'm not sure if I've had DDH Juicy Bits before. I think I have, but I don't have a video on this channel uploaded, but maybe there's a chance that I made a video review 3 years ago and it's still on my phone just sitting there. I have a bunch of reviews that I haven't uploaded because I don't know. I don't put a lot of work into this channel. So this is, I think, like classic DDH Juicy Bits. That's hopped with Citra, Eldorado, and Mosaic, which those are the classic blend. But then they do certain ones that are like Mosaic, double dry hop Juicy Bits. So this is, I almost didn't buy this because it's a little bit of an old can. It's 1 day past 8 weeks, so it's less than 2 months old. Right now it's November 12th. This is, this is exactly 8 weeks. This is September 17th canning. So hopefully it's good. It was refrigerated at the store where I got it, and if an IPA, a hazy IPA, is refrigerated, it should be good for up to 2 months. That's what I really think now. I used to just kind of be really more uptight about age and think that like, oh, I wouldn't buy stuff over a month old. That's when I used to actually work at beer stores and I would, get it right when it comes in. But I really think that if you're getting a hazy IPA that's been refrigerated the whole time and at 2 months it's really gone downhill and lost its haze, that's the brewer's fault. Simple as that. And yeah, that is looking quite hazy. I guess one thing that can also happen, the biggest thing is oxidation. You can have a beer that still has lots of haze and has oxidation. So that one, it's pretty pale. I don't know if there's a little bit of a graying, browning to it. So, yeah, I don't know if there's, it looks a little bit grayish. That can be a sign of oxidation. Otherwise, it looks really good. The head looks really nice. It is very hazy. I don't think this got really shaken up. Maybe a little bit. But there you go. I've enjoyed a lot of Weldwerks beers quite a bit. But it's rare to find them very fresh around here. That smells good though. That smells really, really juicy. It smells like real orange. Like citrus starburst, a little bit of a creamsicle thing. When you really inhale, it smells like actual orange. That's nice, like fresh, zesty, juicy. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I'm glad I bought this. Just from the smell and the look. I can tell this is a really good beer. They overcharged, or didn't overcharge, the shop jacked up the price, I think. It was like $22, $23, which I hate that so many places do that these days. And we're getting some lacing already, but the head's sticking around. A little bit of a chalky thing going on. It's not as full bodied as you might think. But that also means it's not super sweet. But this is kind of like it's got kind of a Trillium thing going on. But a Trillium IPA would not have a nice head like this. Yeah, it's 6.7%, so it's not that strong, but it's really not too sweet. It could have a little more body. And there's a little bit of a booze bite in there. But maybe at this age it's mellowed out in a way that doesn't have a big chalkiness to it, because it kind of has some of that. Like the flavor is a little bit more leafy and grassy than the very fruity smell. Similar thing, the Trillium. Yeah, I know some Trillium beers. But yeah, it's a really good aroma. But it just, maybe it's slightly overcarved. That may account for why the head was so big, but it's like, it's not that, it doesn't sound that spritzy. maybe a little bit, but yeah, sometimes a really high carb can make the beer seem lighter bodied and also kind of bring out some leafy, grassy, and a sort of bite to it that's not that good. Like, yeah, I kind of wish it was a little less carbed. But a lot of people complain about, no head being on a lot of these super hazy beers. But I don't think you can just amp up the carb and make it better. I feel like this would have an okay head of it, or even if the carbonation wasn't higher. And then the carbonation does affect the flavor, and especially the feel. So maybe once this gets a little bit flatter, I'll like it more. If you get some of that fluffy head in your mouth, that's nice. It is, yeah, it's a fluffy beer. It has some bitterness to it. And yeah, it seems like they just heavily dry hop the crap out of this beer. But on the finish, there's a slight minerally. I don't know if it's an oxidation note. This minerally, almost metallic bitterness thing in the finish that reminds me of some Trillium beers. That's not my favorite. It also makes me just think of like a screwdriver, like a vodka orange juice. But the orange flavor is pretty good, but this is just a little bit harsh in the feel and finish, I guess, but not nearly as harsh as I've experienced with other beers. And I wonder if we've got some sediment going on. Not too much. That's why it's so hazy. Do we get any chunkage? No. But I think it's pretty good for an older beer. But just there's something in the finish. It's a little rough. But it's a roughness that a lot of people just don't care about. A lot of people with these hazy IPAs, they just want big aroma, smack in the face of flavor. Yeah, the aroma's the best on this. And when you first swallow it, it's good. Just what it lingers within the finish is just a little bit. I don't know if it has to do with fermentation. It just tastes a little dirty, but I don't know if it has to do with off flavors from fermentation. Yeah, it's close to being really good. It's definitely like a 4.2. The aroma is a 4.5 or so. If I find, and maybe I'll return to Weldwerks, get some more of their beers when I find them fresh, because it seems like they package them pretty well. They don't, and they know how to brew them, so they don't. The biggest thing is if you buy an expensive hazy IPA and it's oxidized, dark or brown or gray, or if all the yeast is, the sediment has fallen, all the haze has fallen, that's really disappointing. Neither of those have really happened with this beer. That's why it's aftertaste. Yeah, it's like not super clean. All right, well, that's probably enough.